And welcome to Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Our area high school football teams got the state playoffs underway, and unfortunately for 2 out of 3, the seasons have come to a close. For the Southeast Bullock Yellow Jackets, they were home hosting Liberty County. They played a very good first half, but ended up with Liberty running away in the second half, lost that game, and the season comes to a close for the Yellow Jackets. As for the Statesboro Blue Devils, they made their first state playoff appearance in over 4 years, went to Griffin on the road. They hung around for quite a while, 13-12, going into the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, they were unable to avoid the loss, ended up losing that one by a final of 19-12. The season comes to a close for Statesboro High. They end up with 4 wins on the season, but have quite a few players coming back for next season. As for the Bullock Academy Gators, the lone team to win, they played at home this week against Brookwood, won that one pretty easily, scoring 49 points, pulling away in the second half over Brookwood. Next up for the Gators, they'll go on the road to John Millage this Friday night. As for the Georgia Southern Eagles, they were looking to bounce back from a loss at ULM this 2 weeks ago. This week it was senior day, 1 o'clock kickoff at Paulson against Troy. The Eagles had plenty to play for, as a victory would have put them in the catbird seat for the Eastern Division title. And Troy came in undefeated in the Sun Belt play at 5-0. The Eagles with 1 loss. Unfortunately, Troy did to the Eagles much like ULM did the week before. They were able to hang around there in the first half and then pull away in the second half. They scored 35 unanswered points. Had some long passes against the Eagle defense. The Georgia Southern offense sputtered after scoring 2 quick touchdowns in the first quarter. Were only able to score 1 the rest of the way and fell in that one by a final of 35-14, or 35-21 rather. And as for the Eagles, next up, they'll be on the road at Coastal Carolina, hoping to close out with a couple wins. They have Coastal next week and then Georgia State the week after that, both on the road. We'll get to some highlights of all those games for you in just a moment. Before we go to break, we'd like to hope you'll all be safe out there, but if you happen to be in an injury or have an accident, we'd like to encourage you to contact the Sullivan Law Firm at thesullivanlawfirm.com or give them a call, 912-489-8888.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Well, the Georgia Southern Eagles looking to rebound from their loss to ULM the week before. Unfortunately, after getting off to a good start, up 14-3, Troy scores 32 unanswered points and goes on to win this one 35-21 over Georgia Southern. Let's get out and see some highlights and hear from Coach Lunsford and some of the players. Senior day at Georgia Southern Paulson Stadium. Beautiful afternoon for football. The Eagles hosting Troy for first place in the Eastern Division of the Sun Belt. The defense solid early on. Randy Wade with the hit here. The Trojans able to start the scoring though on the 45-yard Tyler Sumter field goal to go up 3-0. The Eagle offense getting on track as Monteo Garrett busts free for the 29-yard run on his only carry of the game. Later, Shai Wertz drops back and he finds Wesley Fields down the far sidelines for a nice pickup as he dives ahead. And then finishing things off, Wertz to Ellis Richardson for the touchdown as the Eagles take a 7-3 lead. The defense then creating a turnover as Logan Hunt blows this play up. The loose ball recovered by Kendrick Duncan, putting the offense in great field position, and they'd cash in. First, Wertz going up top to Fields once again for the 30-yard pickup to the 1-yard line. And then it's Wertz to Richardson once again. The 2-yard score gives the Eagles a 14-3 lead, but Troy would storm back, scoring 32 unanswered points. The double pass here would result in a Trojan first down. Next, the handoff to Sidney Davis, who throws back to quarterback Sawyer Smith on 4th and 2 for a Troy first down. And then capping the drive, Trey Eford goes in for the score, cutting the lead to 14-10. The defense looking good later as Deshaun Cooper nearly gets the safety. Pinned deep, Smith will air it out from his own end zone, and it's caught by Luke Whitmore to the 40 on the next play. Smith airs it out again, and once again, Whitmore the reception. Troy would go 99 yards on 5 plays, cap things off with the B.J. Smith touchdown for a 17-14 lead at the half. Second half, the Eagle offensive struggles continue. Wertz dropped for a loss. Troy's offense continues to roll right along. Smith to Davis. Smith with over 300 yards passing and capping the drive. Smith to a wide open Whitmore. Troy extends their lead to 26-14. They'd go for 2, and the tricky Trojans with another trick play as Davis on the reverse passes to Willis. 28-14 Troy after 3 in the fourth. More of the same. Smith to Davis inside the 10. The Eagles miss a golden opportunity next. Smith's pass nearly picked off by Sean Freeman. And then on the very next play, they give to B.J. Smith. And he goes in for the touchdown to make it 35-14. The Eagles finally mount a drive early in the fourth as Wertz finds Wesley Fields, who'd finish with 138 yards receiving. Wertz then able to finish the drive himself. The Eagles' lone rushing touchdown of the game cuts the lead to 35-21. The Eagles with a final chance with time winding out. Wertz on 4th down ends up short of the first down, and the Eagles fall 35-21. Can you put your finger on what might have happened this week around?
I can't. We just got to be better. That's all it is. So we got to be better.
What's the feeling in the locker room? What does Coach tell you after this game?
Man, it hurt. Won this one. We got a chance to play in the Sun Belt Championship. Now that we lost, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where we go from here, but we got 2 more, and that's what we control, and that's what we're gonna do. Come back tomorrow, prepare, get back to work. I think we need to do anything different. We prepare great every day. The results just aren't there. So keep preparing how we prepare. Keep the same positive energy. Don't be affected by the noise that's going on with us having this 2-game losing streak. We've had a great season, and it don't stop with these last 2 losses. We got 2 more, and obviously we both eligible. So we gonna control. We gonna control. We control, and we just gonna keep pressing on.
It's tough. Nobody likes losing, and we go out and put in a plan, and I don't feel like we executed, and we allowed a lot of big plays. So we're disappointed, but we're going to go out next week and go back to work.
Last week, a lot of the same things. You guys felt like you had addressed them. It seemed like they kind of crept up again today.
Yes, sir. And that just goes back to doing our one left for the team. We weren't all on the same page during the game, and I feel like that really hurt us a good bit.
We've done a really good job at home all year, and we didn't today. They did a good job coming in here. We got out to an early lead. They were able to hit some trick plays, got them back in the ball game, got ahead of us. We could never get the momentum back. You know, a lot of negatives in the game, but a lot of credit to them. And, you know, we got to go back to the drawing board tomorrow and make sure we get ourselves in position to go ahead and finish this year off right and, you know, end this thing on a positive note.
Coach, a lot of the same issues crept up today that were there in the Louisiana Monroe game. Did you feel like you guys addressed those, and was it frustrating to see a lot of the same things happen again today?
Yeah, no question. We felt like we did. We never did. We were never able to get the run game established. You know, and then giving up. You know, we only made them punt 2 times, and obviously a good football team like Troy, you can't win if you do that. And you know, we gotta fix some things. Right now, we're not playing our best football, and we got to understand that. You know, we're doing a good job with taking care of the football, and we're doing a good job of the penalty piece. You know, we ended up getting a personal foul there that extended a drive for them, but you know, we're just not right now. We're not giving it enough, and we got to make sure that we get our offense, defense back on track, and you know, get some momentum going into the last part of the season. And if we're going to win Sun Belt championships, we got to be able to play with the best. And right now, you know, Troy's first place, and they're the best. We got to figure out how to get our team in a position to be able to beat them. We end up hitting some RPO stuff where they creased us in the inside vertical game. The biggest piece, I think, when you start looking at it in the first half, is we gave up some deep balls where we had, you know, our coverage on them. We just didn't make plays on the ball. Their receivers made plays. So, you know, there is improvement there as far as coming from the ULM to the Troy game, but still, when we're in position and on a receiver, we got to make sure we make a play. But giving up those inside plays on RPOs, you know, we got to make sure that we get that fixed.
Coach, and it seemed like the run game struggled quite a bit today as well.
We did not do a good job of establishing it. You know, we got nothing on the inside, and you know, then we were very limited on the outside. So we got to really look at this. We got to go back and we got to make sure what we're trying to ask our kids to do. We got to make sure that we're putting them in a position to be successful. Right now, you know, we're not being successful with what we've been doing on offense. So we got to go back and we got to look at that, and we got to make sure that we're putting ourselves in position to be good.
Up next for the Eagles, on the road at Coastal Carolina. They close out the season the next week on the road at Georgia State. Stay with us. We'll have some high school action for you coming up next.
What does it mean to have financial freedom?
At Queensboro Wealth Management, we're helping people figure that out.
And giving them a plan to get there.
If you have a desire to take control of your finances and live with financial purpose,
we
will use every bit of our knowledge to help you.
And there's no cost to get started.
Download a free kit from our website, then give any of us a call. QWM is Queensboro Wealth Management. Let's begin today.
Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment, and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy. In-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests and ultrasounds, in-house lab. And introducing our new nurse practitioner, Melissa Beasley, as we now accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care. Well, the Statesboro Blue Devils on the road at Griffin. The last team they played in the state playoffs, oddly enough, over 4 years ago was Griffin. They lost 42-7. This time around, a little bit closer game. They lost 19-12, had a chance with just over a minute to go in the game, down by a score. They were inside the 40-yard line, but were unable to convert on 4th down, and Griffin ended up going and running out the clock for the victory. Let's get out and take a look at some of the highlights from Statesboro at Griffin. Statesboro High opening up the 5A state playoffs on the road in Griffin. Early on, trouble for the Blue Devils as Drake Horton will be picked off by Elijah Stroud, who makes a nice return, but he'll get hit, cough up the ball, and Statesboro's Israel McGee recovers. Statesboro dodges a bullet. More from the defense here. Chris Hill with the hit for a loss. Then on 4th and short, from their own 20, they'd go for it, and Sage Reese knocks the ball away. Statesboro takes over on short field, and it's Devardrian Lipsy on the counter, going 23 yards for the score, 6-0. More from the defense, Dake Williams, Hill, and a few others with the takedown, 6-0 Statesboro after 1 quarter of play. But here in the second, the Bears get in the scoring column as Elijah King goes 14 yards for the score, 7-6 Griffin. The defense steps up again. Check out the hit by Chris Hill and then Sage Reese and Ames Ratcliffe. Later, 4th and short, the Blue Devil defense able to hold, but the offense unable to move the ball, and late in the half, the Bears moving downfield. Quamari Williams somehow manages to get this one for a completion. He'd have 190 yards throwing. And then with less than 30 seconds left, Williams to big Michael Webb, and it's 13-6 Bears at the half. Second half, the Blue Devils respond. First, it's Issa Mobley with the nice open field tackle. Then Williams rolling out, the ball tipped, and Brendan Jackson with the interception. The offense unable to capitalize. The defense then comes up with another big stop on 4th and short. Harrison Hughes, Hill, and Mobley all on the stop. The offense then with the big play coming up. It's Horton looking deep, the ball tipped, and Corey Gibson makes the fantastic grab at the 5. Later, 4th and goal from the 1. Lipsy fumbles it, picks it up, and then goes in for the score. They'd go for 2. That failed. It was 13-12 Griffin as we move to the 4th. But in the 4th, Williams able to find Terrell Jester, and Jester avoids a couple tackles and goes 55 yards for the touchdown. The extra point failed. It was 19-12 Griffin. The defense continuing to keep the Blue Devils in the game. Corey McCullough with the big hit for a loss. Then later in the 4th, Chris Hill will jar the ball loose from King, and Flip Dixon able to come up with the fumble recovery. The offense then moving downfield. Less than 3.5 minutes to go, Horton to Gibson. Then Horton to Ryan Lindsay for a first down. Statesboro able to get inside the 40 with just over a minute to go on this Jalen Robertson reception. But 4th down, Horton's pass to Will Yawn, incomplete, and the season ends 19-12. So that ends the season for the Statesboro Blue Devils with 4 victories on the season. And the number 3 seed in the state tournament looks like they've made some improvement. We'll see how things go for them next year. Stay with us. Up next, we'll head out to Brooklet to see how Southeast Bullock did.
This is a Clydesdale. Despite what you see in the commercials, he doesn't play football. He won't bring me a cold one, as much as I wish he would. He does not fall easily in love with his kitty cat pals, of which he has none. He's just really good at being a horse on this ranch. I run with help from my banker at Synovus, Bank of Here.
Really, Bruce?
No Credit Refused isn't just an offer, it's a way of business and has been for over 100 years. No banks, no ridiculous credit requirements, just local Badcock store owners who treat you right and give you credit when others won't. It's never been easier to express your style and love your home.
Come visit us locally here in Statesboro at Piedmont Loop beside Walmart. It's now time for our Southeast Bullock segment brought to you by Martin Turf Farm. Well, the Southeast Bullock Yellow Jackets rolled into the state playoffs with only one loss on the season and the number 2 seed in the state tournament, hosting number 3 seeded Liberty County. A lot of people in Bullock County got a chance to see Liberty County play Statesboro, but they were a much better and improved team as they ended up playing the season and getting the number 3 seed in their region. A lot of athletes on that team ended up winning that one over Southeast Bullock 35-14. Let's get out and see some of the highlights. Southeast Bullock in Brooklet hosting Liberty County to open up the playoffs early on. Quarterback Blaze Minnick, nowhere to throw. He'll escape and pick up a Yellow Jacket first down. Tyler Bailey next with the carry. He gets this one inside the 40-yard line. From there, Logan Gomez gets the carry and he goes inside the 5. Then Jamari Daniel finishes things up with the touchdown at 7-0 Yellow Jackets. Liberty able to score just before the end of the first quarter, though. The missed extra point made it 7-6 Yellow Jackets after 1. Move to the second quarter and the Panthers take the lead. Chris Coleman goes 25 yards. It's 12-7 Liberty County. The Jacket defense then comes up with a nice play. Bailey with the interception at the 40, and he makes a nice return inside the 25. The offense able to capitalize as Minnick rolls out and finds Elliott Perkins for the score to make it 14-12. But Liberty County responds before the end of the half. Devontae Bowens to Anthony Perkins down to the 1-yard line. From there, it's Coleman for the touchdown, and it's 18-14 Liberty at the half. We move to the second half, where it was unfortunately all Panthers. Coleman showing the skills that had him go for over 1,500 yards and 17 touchdowns on the season as he goes 55 yards for the score, and it's 25-14. The Jacket defense with their moments. Darius Lovett coming up with the hit for a loss here. But the Panthers on the move. A little bit later, it's Bowens, and he goes all the way in for the touchdown, avoiding a couple tackles. Liberty with plenty of athletes, including here Marcus Johnson, shedding a tackle and getting inside the 10. And then Bowens will go in untouched for the finishing touch. And they'd win 38-14, Liberty the final. So the season ends for Southeast Bullock, but a great year for the Jackets, and first-year head coach Barrett Davis has plenty of players coming back next year. We'll see how they do. Stay with us. Up next, we'll take a look at Gator Alley and see how the Bullock Academy Gators fared against Brookwood. This portion of the Southeast Bullock Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Clayton Digital Reprographics.
A sports injury can stop you in your tracks. At Optum Orthopedics, our specialized physicians and staff use advanced orthopedic procedures with one specific goal in mind: to get you back to you. If you have a sports injury, request an evaluation. Experience the Optum difference.
Friday night lights to early morning deer stands, Anderson's General Store in Statesboro is your tailgating and hunting headquarters. Boots from Ariat, Georgia Boot, Irish Setter, Wolverine, and more, we have a pair for you. Check out our Costa and Ray-Ban sunglasses. And apparel from Columbia, Carhartt, and Drake. Dove, ducks, deer, we have all your hunting needs. And tailgate with a Big Green Egg or Traeger grill. Pack in the flavor with delicious sauces and rubs. Haul it all home with a utility trailer. Anderson's General Store, a general store, and so much more.
We are feeling fall at RJ Pope's Men's and Ladies Apparel. Stop by RJ Pope's in the Buckhead Plaza and check out their new expansion with plenty more to offer. Featuring brands like Mountain Khakis, Pants buy cool, jackets and shirts as cooler weather is upon us. With the largest selection of Georgia Southern and University of Georgia game day apparel, we make sure you're dressed to win at tailgating. When you're not cheering on your favorite team, we have your style covered, online and in store at our 3 locations. The Bullock Academy hosting Brookwood in the opening round of the GISA state playoffs, but the Warriors came out on fire on the second play from scrimmage. Quarterback Joe Parker calls his own number, and he gets all the way down inside the Bullock Academy 20-yard line. A little bit of a blowout in the second half, scoring 49 points. 2 plays later, take a look at the give to Vincent Yoakley, who goes in for the score, and Brookwood with a 7-0 lead. But Bullock Academy would respond as Jake Nelson will fight his way into the end zone, tying the game at 7-all. Brookwood right back, though. Joe Parker will go up top, and Nick Knifer with the reception for the score. Warriors on top 14-7. The Gators respond once again. This time, Ty Mingle will go in for the score. The 2-point conversion was good to make it 15-14 Bullock Academy. More from the Gators. Mingle on the carry, gets outside, and he goes 20 yards. Jake Nelson then caps the drive as he goes all the way in for the score to make it 22-14 Gators. The defense for Bullock Academy then stepping up as on the fumble, the Gators able to recover. The offense back on the move as Don Aaron will pick up 20 yards into Brookwood territory. This would lead to a short touchdown by Mingle, and it's 28-20 Gators. Bullock Academy pulling away in the second half. Mingle off to the races once again. This one from 45 yards away. He'd finished with 260 yards rushing. Later from the 15. The Gators going with Mingle once again, and he's in for another touchdown, making it 42-20. The defense comes up with another turnover later as Will Aaron with the interception, and he gets a nice return into Brookwood territory, setting up his brother Don with the finishing touch. He's in for the score, and the Gators advance, winning 49-27. Next up for Bullock Academy, they'll be on the road in Milledgeville taking on John Millage this Friday at 7:30. Other sports getting things underway this week. Area high school basketball will begin, and they'll tip things off. We've got the Statesboro Blue Devils hosting Southeast Bullock coming up this Friday night. We also have some Georgia Southern basketball as the Georgia Southern men's basketball team will be hosting George Mason in a big game Tuesday at 7 o'clock at Hanner Fieldhouse. That'll wrap things up for this show. We'll have our midweek show coming up, and we'll hear from our area high school football coaches and Coach Lunsford and some of the players as they get ready for their matchup at Coastal Carolina. But for now, that'll wrap things up. We'll see you soon.